Hi everybody, welcome to this playthrough for the division shown in the Attitude Tour 18 Hole Cup here on the channel. Hope you're doing well. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you subscribe as well. We have replays and adjustments for each of the 18 holes used in this tournament, but as a word of warning, there is a boosted wind modifier in effect for this one. This is not shown in the replays, but you will still, of course, be able to use these replays and build your shots from that. They are suggestions. You will, of course, need to tweak the setup, so especially with the slightly higher wind strength. So please bear that one in mind and make sure you put according tweaks into your shots as you go, because you will need more adjustments or slightly different spin, but they will still give you a good idea of how to approach the holes. Remember to check the channel for other videos for Golf Clash as well. Good luck, here we go. Kind of an in-between wind angle here. I do recommend going with a Berserker. It's not quite send it wind, but we still can play down the right hand side if you want to be very aggressive. I did try Titan, I just made it over, but if you had less tailwind angle it might be a bit touch and go, so I will advise you to use a Berserker here if you can. 6 top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right, aim as shown. The ball guide will be aiming towards the rough on the right, but the wind push is going to send us left, so don't worry about that. Max plus 10, power 5 settings here, and then we are going to push back up to max. May give you a 5-yard push-up or a 10-yard push-up, something like that, depending how much tailwind you have. Outer wall, left curl, minor great left here, still going to be fine, as is a minor great right. You can see there we've got loads of room, clearing the rough and in between the 2 bunkers. We just want to try and get down as far as we can here. If you have more topspin available, absolutely go with that. 430 yards, and it's going to be a tricky second shot. I have had to go with the Goliath rough bump, but max topspin still didn't reach the hole and was aiming perilously close to the rough. So what I do here, there's a plus yardage there shown if you do want to make use of that, but I'm kind of playing this one an estimate of true club distance. Setting up with a white ring touching the bunker as a reference, not essential though, and then applying backspin and a little bit of side spin to the right, getting the ball guide pointing at the pin, but stopping short because we do have an element of tailwind. In the video here I play this one 35% slider, 20% elevation. Is going to be 2 pulls on the rings here with the Grizzly. We do come in close here, we don't drop it. This is a tricky one here, so it's up to you really how you want to approach this hole. Here is a very close attempt though, just burning right edge on that one. I'm going to play with a quarterback and go for a rough bump here. Setting spin first, 5 bars of backspin. Then we're going to find our position, we're going to play with a Kingmaker, and we're going to have the inner ring touching the rough line. And you will see with the spin added, the ball guide is going straight through the centre of the hole. Now we've got max wind with the Kingmaker here, but this still drops pretty nicely. And I've dropped this in other wind strengths and wind angles as well. The adjustment here is mid plus 0, power 0 numbers. Okay, pulling from the white ring, again, there will be some wind angle tweaks needed on this one, but gives you a base shot to work from. If you want to tweak it yourself, centering the ball, hitting perfect, going to catch the rough really nicely in crosswind, brilliant opportunity for a rough bump, and we fall very nicely for a hole in 1. Now there is some tailwind, but it's not really that much that we could have had on this hole. Before spin, stretch out to P5, max extension, ball guide pointing at the edge of the rough. Then I'm going 5.8 top spin and 2 right spin, max plus 20. Is the adjustment here. Now once I've done my adjustment, we are going to need to push up, because otherwise you will be short on the second shot. So with APOC 5 and above, we're going to push up 16 yards. With APOC 4, you would push up 23 yards. It is going to mean you are most likely at max club with APOC 4 though, unfortunately, but you still got a chance at the safe eagle. Full overpower, 2 balls of curl to the right. Try and hit perfect. You've got a great left and a great right, because this fairway is very, very wide indeed. So full blast down the fairway. You want to be around 460 yards. If you are unlucky with your wind angle or you hit a great ball, you might get a few yards shorter, but you will still be able to secure your eagle. Second shot, 2.5 backspin, 1 right spin. And then I'm finding a point here where the second bounce just before it gets clipped by the bunker. You can see there's a point there where it kind of kicks to the left. I want to be at the right of that second bounce, one green square to the right of the pin. Like I said, make sure it's not being clipped by the sand. Then here I'm playing a true club distance, so I'm almost at max here. So I'm playing this one, I believe, 96 or 98% slider, 20% elevation, power 5 numbers. If you are short on the drive, you would need to stretch out to find your position. Look at how many rings you are stretching out and make sure you push up that amount of rings after you adjust so that you don't fall short. But there we hold very nicely. You're either going to be on the fairway, on the fringe, or putting for your eagle. We're going to play a no movement target shot here. So enter the hole with the Kingmaker and your Apocalypse, and then don't move the target until you need to adjust your rings. 4.5 top spin, 3 left spin. Okay, so add your spin, and then all you're going to do is adjust max plus 15, power 3 settings. Very simple way here to get to the green for a wedge or a putt for the eagle. So max plus 15, for me that is 6.9 rings. Then we're going to go with some curl to the left, just before the circle drops as overpower, and it's 0.8 bull curl. Look at the right edge of the Kingmaker, get it lined up with the inside wall of the shot circle, bounces comfortably on the fairway, second bounce on the pad, and then rolls nicely onto the green, and you're going to be putting there for your eagle. Now on this par 3 you don't have to use a precision ball. I'm just using it because it gives me the exact amount of spin. It's 3 backspin and 2 bars side spin to the right. If you don't want to use that ball, then you can set your spin with a Titan, then switch to a Kingmaker. White ring touching the wooden edging there. It's the topper +1 with Grizzly 9, topper +4 with Grizzly level 7 and 8. Bull guide there, you've got to zoom in as shown. A lot of adjustment here because the wind is going to affect this one quite a lot. We're going to go max plus 45, power 4 settings. 2 pulls over the bullseye. It is going to be a fair amount of rings, like I said. So take a token or two, get a feel for the adjustment. Try, of course, to always adjust as accurately as you can when you're making 2 pulls. Max plus 45, power 4 numbers, and then of course just hit perfect. You will need a wind angle tweak or two for different wind angle variations, and obviously wind speed. It's always good to try and keep it below 8 miles an hour, but something to work with here. Hole in one on this par 3. On the drive here we've got a nice tailwind angle. We're going to go with 5 topspin and 3 left spin. Don't want to drive too far on this one because of the second shot. Bullseye directly over the rough at the top of +10 with APOC 5 and above, P3 max with APOC level 4. Once you've done that, we're going to adjust max plus 20, power 3 settings. So make sure you got your bullseye directly over that rough line where the bull guide just gets clipped away. A couple of references there with your plus yardage as well, and making our adjustment here, for me just over 7 rings. And then we're going with 1 ball of curl to the left, full overpower, nice and slow needle as well, so easy to hit perfect. Finds the centre of the fairway, rolls along the next fairway, and we're getting a drive distance here of approximately 380 yards. Second shot, make a pin check to begin with, so bullseye over the pin. It's given me +4 with Grizzly 9, that'll be +7 with Grizzly 7 and 8. However, Grizzly 8 only actually on this one because of the backspin. The reason I use 5 backspin is because I don't want to pull myself off the platform and into the water. So adding the backspin, aiming at the left edge of the cup. For a +4 pin check, we're going to go 42% slider, 10% elevation. You could use a different long iron if you haven't got Grizzly 8 plus, but you would of course need to tweak the slider value. So backspin is key here. There's obviously a couple of alternates that you could use. If you're using a different long iron, you could even try and use drive distance yardage as well if you can't do a pin check. But just throwing it out there, a couple of things to have a think about here. But if you've got Grizzly 8 plus, good chance for the Alba. We're going to aim with the quarterback here at P6 max rest with no spin, tip of the ball guide in the middle of the fairway. Then I'm going to switch to my Apocalypse and Sniper bag and add spin. We're going with 5.8 top spin and 3 bars of side spin to the right. Once we've done that, we adjust our rings, which is going to be maximum distance with 10% elevation. A little bit of headwind here to deal with, but primarily crosswind, and we're going to end up with a Sniper rough bump attempt for our eagle on this tough par 4. 6.1 rings for me. Obviously always use a calculator yourself though, due to different wind strengths and different accuracies. Full overpower, no curl, but it's a nice slow needle and easy chance to hit perfect, which we do in this example here, and roll down the fairway, and we're looking for a drive distance of approximately 365 yards. Second shot, making a pin check here to judge club distance, and the bullseye over the pin gives me +4. Then I'm having the top of the red ring touching the rough line and the blue ring touching the bunker on the left, and I apply spin to have the ball guide going just over one green square past the cup. Now here I offset to the right. I shouldn't have done that. I should have aimed with the ball guide through the hole, because this one misses on the right. So if you had this example wind angle in tournament, then that is the tweak I would make. For a pin check of +4 with Sniper 10, will be +6 with Sniper 9, I would recommend you play this 40% slider, 0 elevation. Like I said, a little bit of a tweak to the spin so that you're aiming through the hole instead of offsetting to the right. Would have got this one to drop nicely, but it is great safe on both sides in this wind angle, which is nice, just missing, like I said, to the right hand side. A nice par 3 here, and we've got a good wind angle for the rough bump. So we're going to play with the quarterback, set up with a power 5 ball because it was easy to find the min line, and I'm looking at having that long ball guide there. Then I switch to my Kingmaker, and I'm going to then adjust. No spin at all on this one, no spin at all. And the adjustment I'm making here is 1:1 minus 0.6. So for 7.3 in wind, I'm going to adjust this one 6.7 rings. And then we're going to take our shot. Obviously, there will be wind angle tweaks needed on these par 3s in Expert. Those will be listed in the full text guides if you do want to go over and get those. Link is in the video description down below, or you can just tweak from that yourself, but very nice reference drop there. I'm going to aim at the tree trunk to the left of the pink bush here with APOC. And you see, just aim at that tree trunk there as I'm doing. Then we are going with 6 top spin, 3 right spin. Don't need to adjust, it is a fixed aim only. Then we are going with a full slice, but only 3 rings of overpower. So be careful with the OP. Get the tip of the needle going to the top of the blue ring. Then we go for full slice. I've been testing this a couple of times, been working beautifully. And we get to a repeatable distance for a second shot. And we do have a plus yard reference as well. So we're going to be around 470 to 475. Second shot, play with a thorn, do a back fringe check. So move the target to the back of the fringe where the fringe meets the green, in line with the pin. +4 here. So for a +4 back fringe check, we're going to play 25% slider, 20% elevation. I've dropped this shot twice. No spin. Ball guide just short of the front of the cup because we do have tailwind angle. So 25% slider, 20% elevation for +4. Pull over the bullseye. As I said, no spin. Then we're going to take our shot, hit perfect, which we do. There we go. And you will see here we bounce very nicely, and we get the nice camera angle and drop it right at pin for a lovely albatross. In this almost direct tailwind angle, you can blast it if you want, but you will need to put in wind angle tweaks according to wind strength and angle. P10 max stretch with extra mile 9, half the blue ring inside the rough on the left of that fairway pad. Max top spins, that's 7.7 bars and 2 bars of left spin. You could do this with APOC 7+, but you would need to pull back 3 yards. Adjust max -20. Weird adjustment, but we're using power 10 numbers, full overpower, and half a ball of curl to the left. Slow needle, easy to hit perfect, but beware with these blast shots, you've got to put tweaks in. Otherwise you may miss the fairway and go into the water. Sometimes you will roll out, sometimes you will be stuck in the rough, but there is a good funnel to play from there. If you don't fancy blasting it on this hole, then you can lay up and play for a thorn funnel or a grizzly instead. 5.8 top spin, 3 right spin, and with APOC 5 and 6, blue ring touching the rough on the right at the top of +2. APOC 4, you would be at the top of +8 with 30% of the blue ring overlapping the rough due to different distance and accuracy on your driver. Then it is time to adjust. We're going to go maximum distance with 10% elevation. For me, that is just over 6 rings, but always use a calculator yourself. And then I'm going to go with some right curl, no overpower here, so half a ball curl out to the right, hitting perfect, and we've got room here on the fairway on our bounce point. We clear very, very nicely, roll through those shadows, and we're going to get out to a drive distance of approximately 365 yards. We are going to be in thorn range here. I'm adding 1 backspin and 3 right spin. It's weird to play with right spin here, but I want to catch that funnel. You can see there I'm moving left and right, and the ball guide isn't really deviating from its aim. The ball guide is pointing slightly low of the cup here because we have tailwind angle, which is going to increase our distance on the ball guide that is shown. So we're going to bounce, have a longer second bounce. That's why I'm aiming low. Adjust at max +0, that is of course true club distance here because I'm at max distance of my club. If you get a shorter drive, you can play with the grizzly but would need to adjust back, so make sure you would push up from the minimum distance line enough to adjust. But here we drop this nicely for the eagle. Please do join us over on Facebook. We have an ever-growing community of players there, over 16,000 members. Head over to Facebook, search for BK Golf Clash and submit your member request there. Free to join, there are free guides posted, lots of shot sharing and discussion points. You can chat and interact with me as well, and loads more over on Facebook. So head over there and search for BK Golf Clash. We're going to start with a basic ball here and pull back to sniper and add our spin because I don't want any unwanted side. 5.2 top spin, then we switch to Kingmaker or Kingslayer. Keep the wind below 8 if you can. Nasty wind angle, but still a very good chance for hole in one. Red ring touching the rough line, ball guide through the hole with spin added, and then subject to any wind angle tweaks here, we're going to go mid +15 power 2 settings. You've got to build some wind angle tweaks in on most par 3s in Expert. If you can, take a token or two. This one is exactly the middle angle that I'm showing you here to help you. So mid +15 power 2 settings. As you can see, we're not anywhere near plus numbers. So if you've got a power 1 wind 4 ball that you want to get rid of, then that will be a good opportunity to do so. Perfect ball away catches the rough. Great balls are safe. And we're getting this one in very nicely, hitting the pin and falling for the hole in one. On this hole, we're going to drive with the quarterback, and we're going to go with 2 bars of top spin and 3 bars right spin. Add spin first and then find position here. We're looking at the blue ring. We're going to look at it touching the rough on the right-hand side, and we're going to look at plus yards. We are at top of +2 with QB 9 and 10. If you've got a lower level quarterback, QB 8, you'll be at the top of +6 because you've got 4 yards less distance. 1-to-1 adjust here, so 7.8 is my wind strength, 7.8 is the number of rings I'm going to pull. So nice and simple adjustment here, 1-to-1, and then we're going to go with some right curl, 3/4 ball curl, just before the circle drops for overpower, perfect ball away, and the curl and the spin take us nicely onto this next piece of fairway, approaching the end but not threatening the end of it. Drive distance here is going to be around 305. Second shot playing with the sniper, and we want to make a bunker check. So bullseye over the lip of the bunker in line with the pin gives me +8 with sniper 10, and that equates to +10 with sniper 9. I try and find a little sticky spot here. There's not a very large one at all, but there is a fraction of one where you can move around. But believe me, it's only very marginal. So I find that point without spin, then I add spin, 1 back spin, half a bar of left spin to have the ball guide offset short and left of the pin as shown. Might need a tweak or two here. I did drop this one though, so it gives you a good thing to work from. For a +8 bunker check, going 58% slider, 0 elevation, sniper 10 numbers all the way. And we're going to make our adjustment here. And you will see that the ball will land further left than where I'm aiming, but combination of the adjustment and the offset is working in this scenario. If you're worried about a great left, you might want to tweak it, but like I said, it's a drop and it's a reference that you can work from as you play your round. Lovely wind angle here. We can go for green with a Berserker 5.8 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the left. Here's your landing position. Top of +25 with APOC 5+, and you want the bullseye directly over that rough line, the first part where it gets clipped away, the ball guide. If you've got APOC 4, you are going to be there at the same position but at P5 max instead, which of course will be +31. So we're going to make our adjustment here, max +15 on this one, max +15, and then we are going to do a small push-up, not very much because we want a nice slow max overpower needle. So max +15, then we're going to push up a total of 5 yards. So I'm +6, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, just right back to the top of +11, 5-yard push-up, and then go with half a ball of curl to the left. Lovely slow needle, dead easy to hit perfect here, and this will bounce very nicely on the fairway, and then continue down the next fairway and is going to park up just by the side of the green. You've got a very, very simple wedge there for your eagle. Here's a hole-in-one with the Thor's Hammer. We're going to play with 7.2 backspin and 1 bar of side spin to the right here. This is a very tough par 3, and a drop here is considered a huge bonus indeed. So we're adding a spin, and then I'm aiming on the green there with the second bounce in that dark green square column. If you've got Thor's Hammer 6 with the same accuracy obviously as me, then you'll have all of the bottom half of the yellow ring kind of going alongside the fringe line, but different club levels will have different accuracies, so make sure you look at that second bounce once you've added your spin. Mid distance, 0 elevation, power 6 numbers, and just before circle drop over power. Make sure you do the same. Hitting perfect. This hole, as with all par 3s, will need wind angle tweaks, but if you miss the hole in one, you will have a very, very short putt for your birdie. Long and tough par 5, going to suggest the Extra Mile 9 or APOC 7+, and a Berserker here. We're going to go with maximum topspin with Extra Mile 9, that is 7.7 bars. P10 max rest, aim down the fairway as shown there. I'm going to zoom in so you get an idea that you can see where I'm aiming. Different wind angles will need different adjustments here. If you have straight tailwind, you will have to set up a little bit further back, otherwise you will land directly in the rough or the bunker. Max +10, no push-up. We're using power 10 numbers. If you've got APOC 7 or 8, then you would need to set up a 3 or 4 yards back from max club because your distance is longer. Full overpower, perfect ball away. It is going to be a slightly shaky needle, and you can see here I'm bouncing very, very close to the rough indeed. So if you want to safeguard against any dodgy pull angles or more tailwind angle, then I would suggest with the Extra Mile 9 you set up at +27. Second shot, Big Dog or Cataclysm. I'm going to go here just wanting to go safely onto the green. 1 bar of top spin, 2 left spin at P10 max rest, aiming away from the rough as shown. If you want to go more aggressively, you put more top spin on and aim further back, get the second bounce in the rough and then roll out to the green for a potential albatross. However, that is still a fairly low percentage shot unless you are willing to spend a load of tokens to dial it in. Maximum distance, 0 elevation. You don't have to use the curl. I wouldn't use too much more than this in case you curl into the rough and do not roll out, but a little bit of curl to the left will get you closer to the pin. But either way, you should end up with a makeable putt. Here we're getting onto the green, and what have we got there? About a 6 or 7 yard putt, if that, for your eagle. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of 3 ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube. You can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. On this par 3, we are going to play a rough bump, and I'm turning the camera round to find position first, and we're going to have the red ring touching the bunker and then the rough that is next to the main fairway. So both of those references there, you've got the bunker top left and the rough line on the right. Then we're adding spin to get the ball guide pointing at the pin. It's going to be approximately 3.2 top spin, 1.2 right spin or thereabouts. You can see there ball guide is going to be intentionally short, even though it's still pointing at the hole. So try and replicate all of those details, subject to any wind angle tweaks that you may need, and of course always nice to keep the wind below 8 if you're playing expert. Mid +5, power 2 settings, and we're going to center our ball here. This will be the middle wind angle here, hitting perfect, and the ball will catch the rough very nicely. It is great safe. I would imagine mine are great safe on both sides because there's plenty of rough, and it drops for the hole in 1. On this par 4, we're going to play here with not max top spin with APOC 4 and above. We're going to go with 5.5 top spin and 3 right spin. So make sure that you get your top spin correct. Bullseye in the middle of that fairway pad between the left and right edges. Top of +7 with APOC 5 and above. That will be at the top of +13 if you've got APOC 4. So make sure you get all those details. We're going to adjust max +10. The reason I don't go with 5.8 top spin is because I have been catching a glitch roll with that. So a bit less top spin here, 5.5 bars should safeguard against a glitch roll. If you do get that though, there is still a chance with a white ring pin check here on the second shot. 3/4 ball curl to the right at the point just before the circle drops for your overpower reference. Hit perfect, we bounce absolutely in the middle of that pad and approaches this kind of very thin join that you can see in the fairway around 355 yards. Second shot, white ring pin check, WPC on the notepad. So have the pin in the top of the white ring. +3 with Grizzly 9 is going to be +6 with Grizzly 7 and 8. And you can see here it's going to be around 3 backspin. It might be slightly more or slightly less depending how you get on with your drive. But as a reference, you kind of want the bottom of the blue ring to be almost touching the rough there. You can tweak it a little bit. And you see there I was giving you a zoom in of where you want your ball guide. You're aiming it at the pin and just stopping a little bit short of the cup, as you could see there. So for +3 with Grizzly 9 for your white ring pin check, you're going to play 40% slider, 25% elevation. There's more information on slider, pin check references and all of that on the Academy tutorial homepage. So if these are new methods for you, don't worry, check them out. We've got some tutorials to help you build those into your game, and as a result you will get more drops. Perfect ball away, and this one is going very nicely in the hole. Right, we're going to play with the rock here. Rock 8 plus 4.1 top spin, 3 bars left spin, blue ring touching the rough on the left at the top of +12 with with rock 8, top of +11 with rock 9. Then we adjust max distance 5% elevation, max distance +5. This is really a safe eagle, outside chance for an albatross. We'll talk more about that coming up. We're going to go with 2 balls curled to the left. Find the point where the circle drops, just go before that as your overpower reference, and get a nice perfect ball away here. So perfect ball away, you're going to bounce very comfortably on the fairway, not threatening the rough, and the rock is very accurate, which is a nice club to use here. And you want to be around this shadow area here, around 360 yards. Now for this approach shot I'm going with 2 backspin and 3 right spin. It is, like I said, predominantly safe eagle with the outside chance of an albatross. If you want to pursue the albatross even more, play an aggressive rough bump with a load of topspin. May well need the Cataclysm though, potentially a higher power ball, but it's just going to be throwing that out there for you as a suggestion if you want to give it a go. Ball guide to the front of the cup. Unfortunately, I played the wrong slider value here. I wanted to go true club distance, which is on the notepad, 82% slider. which would of course be +5 here with Sniper 10. Unfortunately, I had 72% slider in the app by mistake, so this one is under adjusted by 0.2. You can see the result here. It's 10% elevation. It is tweakable if you want, but like I said, the rough bump I feel is the more aggressive, consistent route. So take a token or two and tweak depending on what method you want to use. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.